What's up, guys? It's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity Build-It video. Today we're going to be doing a video on what changes you guys think should be made to the game, what things that you would like to see coming up in the next, several updates. Here's my gripe, my bitchery, okay? As many of you guys know who watched the last season pass, I was not thrilled with it. It was horrendous. So, as somebody who has played the game for going on like 8 years now, I am absolutely disappointed with where it's went, what it's turned into, and it's unfortunate because I've spent a lot of my time playing this game. I originally made my channel to help players because the way I see it is this. And I've thought about quitting, to be real with you guys. I really have. I've thought about just saying, fuck this game. I'm done with it. Especially after this pass. And I'll tell you why I haven't quit yet. Okay? When you have somebody who's good at something and they quit, it's a waste of knowledge. I am good at the contest estimators. I know a lot about the game, and I can help a lot of people with the knowledge that I have. So it would be a waste for me to not help people. When I see so many people playing a game and they're struggling, and they don't need to struggle, it makes me want to help them. Like, hey, you don't have to suffer. Like, you can win. You can enjoy playing if you just do this, this, and this. So over the last couple of years, they've made a lot of changes to the game, but it's not positive. They've got these EA game changers that are just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They don't even put out videos. When they do, they're just terrible. And I've talked to SimCity on Twitter, and I've told them, like, you need to get better EA game changers. Like, you guys need to listen to your customers here. Now, if enough of us speak up, you might actually start to see a change. You guys go to their Facebook page and comment and tell them what you want. And please do not say, I want a search feature on the global market. I will scream, okay? That will destroy the game. I'm just gonna get that out there right now. Absolutely destroys the game. You cannot add a search feature. The game is item based. If you can just have any item whenever you want it, you have no reason, none at all, to have a large storage capacity. Basically all you would need is coin. Okay, epic projects would be pointless. Contest and mayor's assignments wouldn't be difficult. Nothing would have a challenge. Nothing. You could just have whatever you want. So what I want to hear is positive changes that would make the game more enjoyable. Not just, it would make it so easy that there's no challenge, right? You want the game to be challenging and satisfying, but not miserable. Okay? If you have a game where you're fighting a boss and you have to run, if every time you die and you have to run back to the boss and you have to go through, all these platforms and levels to get to that boss, and then you die instantly over and over and over, it makes the game less enjoyable. It's not that it's more challenging, it's just unenjoyably challenging. Right? The challenge is fighting the boss. You've already mastered how to get to the boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've already ran there, you've got to the boss, but now you're frustrated because you ran all that way and then you get there and then you die instantly. That's not enjoyable, okay? Starting you at the boss fight and allowing you to play and learn the techniques, that's much more enjoyable, right? Same concept with SimCity. There are things that you could change that you think might make the game more fun, but when you actually really break it down how it's going to affect the way the game works, it wouldn't. You don't want a game to be so damn easy that there's no challenge. If you've ever played those slot machine games, where you're not playing for real money, you've got the ones that use like the real money amount. They're not real money, but they show the amount of real money and you win a realistic amount, okay? And those ones are funner to play than the ones that are, oh, bet 10,000, now bet 40,000. Now you're betting 1 million per spin. Now every time you win, you get these big fireworks that say big win, mega win, huge win every time you win something. How is that fun? See where I'm going with this? You want to make things somewhat challenging so that when you achieve them, you have something to be proud of. You have something to say, you know what, hey, I did that. When you do a gold epic and you have to manage your inventory properly, that is satisfying at the end of the epic. You did well, yada yada. But if you can just search for whatever you need, that defeats the entire purpose. You wouldn't even need, I mean, what reason would you even have to have more than like 5 pointers? Why? You could just search for whatever you needed. How many times have you had to donate something that you wouldn't donate because you didn't have it? It's what makes the game fun. It makes it challenging. You can't have everything easy. If you want it to be that easy, you should just hack the game. See what I'm saying? Okay, so this group, they reached out to SimCity several times. They've written them emails. And these are the changes that they want to see. We're going to go over them. I'm going to tell you what I think about them. I want you guys to comment down below. I want you to go to their Facebook page. And I want you to comment what you want to see. What buildings you want to see. What changes. And, you know, when it comes to updates, you're supposed to look forward to updates. You are. You're supposed to be like, dude, we're getting an update in a month. And I can't wait to see what they do next. You know, in a positive way. Like, we might get better arenas for war, or a better season pass, or something new. You know, like, instead of it being the same rewards every time, change it up. And not for the worse, you know? Like, all right. So these people, they want to see adding new arenas. I do agree, even though I'm not a war player, or I'm not a competitive war player, I don't care for the war feature at all. I do agree that the game, there are a lot of people that do like war. And if I was somebody that liked war, it would be fair to say that they should do more. You know, they should add, you know, a new arena, or maybe new war screens, or techniques, or double attacks, boosters, something. Just add something, new cards, even, anything. They really do need to do something new, because it's been a long time that, you know, they've done anything decent. So, next one, give earlier notice on lightning event. So basically they're going on in this paragraph to say that they have a lot of groups, and for them to strategically plan the way they're going to do their war, they want, you know, notice. I think in regards to SimCity, they really should give us better notice for a lot of things. Not just war, but for, you know, changes in the game, specifics of the game, you know, and I've talked about that many times. We really do need more information instead of having to obtain all the information ourselves and then hope it's accurate. And then it changes all the time. All right, next thing. Bring back the stacks of 5 war items in Trade Depot. They basically, in this paragraph, they go on to say that the whole point in having the 1 stack items, or the 5 stack items being taken away, was to keep cheaters from having an advantage, and that they're still cheaters, therefore they should just give them their items back. So I think that what really should be acknowledged here is that not enough was done about people who are cheating. And yes, we should be able to sell 5 items at a time, because it is super frustrating to only be able to sell 1 item. I think that they need to add quick tabs to our inventory. We have millions of games out there with an inventory, and this one is one of very few that makes you scroll all the way to the bottom in order to access certain items. You really should be able to click on your inventory and have like file tabs that say, okay, this is your war stuff. I mean, like when you click on the emoji in the chat, you have it. You just click on the war items and then there it is. Even if they did it shop based, you know, that would be nice. There's a lot of things I think that would be kind of cool. Like how about like skins, you know, and for certain things, like you can upgrade certain buildings and pick a certain skin. Like you can change the look of your shops. That would be cool. For me, the game is about design. The contest of mayors has kind of driven me over the edge, you know, because that's all I ever have to talk about with people, and it's just driven me crazy. But it would be nice to see all of that work that we put into obtaining all of this currency put to use. And by use, I mean like actually have stuff to spend it on. It's been a long time since we've had new buildings come out that we can actually purchase with keys or simscash. We keep getting new buildings, but they're in side passes that require purchasing or, you know, upgrading of some kind. New transportation items, gambling items, epic projects. Let's get some new style epics in there. How about allowing maybe more slots in the trade depot or a separate war trade depot? Honestly, I'm all for a player option that allows you to interact with other players at a whole different level. And what I mean is, let's say that I want to trade with you and you're a club member. I should be able to trade with you without having to actually travel to your depot. That would be awesome. Like just have a screen that pops up. You click trade. You have like a box where you set the items that you want to give them. And then they set the items that they want to give you in return. Or if you don't want to give anything, then you just click your green check mark, they click theirs, and they automatically gets added to their inventory if they have space. If they don't have the space, then whatever space they do have adds it to their inventory, or maybe it doesn't. It just goes back to yours or whatever. Let's say that you wanted coin for it instead of an item. Then same thing. You offer an amount of coin. You should be able to transfer coins easily between members. Maybe you could even put a cap on it if you wanted. Not like a ridiculously low cap, but a cap no less. How about gifting the season pass? Being able to buy a friend the season pass. That would be tremendously helpful for some people, you know. Gifting items. Let's say that you have stuff that you don't want and you want to gift it. Or, you know, you can send, like, let's say you could have like an avatar as your picture instead of it having to be connected to Facebook. And you could buy like little frames that go around it, or, you know, customization stuff for your chat, like different bubbles for the chat instead of having to look at the ugly ass bubbles that are there. A private messaging system on the game. That would be helpful. Even if it's not necessarily going to be with every club member, or every member in the game, but club members. Or make it to where the group feature is better. You know, like the way that you find club members. Make it to where you have a section in there where you can actually type up what your club is about, your rules, everything. The thing that we get is so small. It's not helpful. Make it easier for people to leave the group. A lot of people don't know that they need to click that little eye in the top right corner. How about allowing people to specifically set roles in regards to what they're capable of doing. For example, let's say that you want somebody to have the senior or VP role, but you don't want them to have access to certain features. Like, let's say that you want them to be able to add members, but you don't want them to be able to start war because so many people accidentally start war. You should be able to turn that feature off. The president should be allowed to boot members that are in war if there is an issue. And now, I could see how that could cause some problems with the opposing city. If you're just able to boot a bunch of people, they wouldn't have any targets or whatever. So there would have to be some regulations about it. Maybe only one person a month or one person per war, or that person would never be allowed back to the group, so that there wouldn't be, this constant people just booting people out. I don't know how that would work, but there should be something. Or what they should do, actually, this would be better, that if you're stuck with somebody in your war, I just figured it out. So what they should do is make it to where that person cannot talk in the chat and they cannot access anybody's depots in the group. So they can't buy from anybody. Oftentimes what happens is you get stuck with somebody in war and they make trading miserable because they take things that aren't meant for them. They blow up the chat and make it miserable for everybody. So basically making it to where they'll be able to attack or repair, but they're not able to chat or take items. Or make it to where they can't launch boosters because they could just be an asshole, and make it to where you can't do anything. Just blocking all activity on their part. Something like that. Now, let's see what else they have here. Reduce the time needed to skip a war delivery from 5 to 1 minute. I disagree with this. I think 5 minutes is fair because of the fact that if you're able to skip every 1 minute, when you do the war delivery, you get the next delivery immediately. So if you're able to skip because you don't have the required items, then you would have less reason to buy the ones from the war store. And you would also have a higher advantage to launching better attacks rather than having to launch attacks you would maybe not launch, or it would take you significant time to come up with the war items or whatever. So I don't know. I don't think 5 minutes is that long, and I think 1 minute is way too low. Way too low. Maybe somewhere in the middle, 3 minutes or something. That would be fair. Allow filtered search on the global market. That is the stupidest thing. We've already talked about that. That would destroy the game. I am so sick of hearing people say that. I mean, Jesus, do people not think? Whenever you guys offer up a change, think about how it's actually going to play out. And don't just think about the positives. Be fair. That's what I try to do that. I try anytime I'm debating with somebody on an argument, even if I'm, like I said, I'm not a war player, but I'll put myself in your shoes and I will try to, be fair. That's all I'm saying. Be fair. If you got something positive to say, don't just not say the negative just because you're on that side. You know what I'm saying? That would be ridiculous. It really would be. Include at least one of each type of attack when the monster comes. Their reason for this is because of the assignments. That being able to do their assignments because they're not in war. Now, what really needs to change is making people play war in order to do assignments. What they should have done is made it to where you only get war assignments when you're in an active war. 1, so that you can actually complete the assignments, and 2, so that you would be more inclined to do war so that you could get those assignments. And then if you didn't want to do war, then you didn't have to. You see what I'm saying? It's forcing people to play a part of the game that they may not want to play. And it sucks. Okay. The next one, reduce the time needed to refresh the Neo Mall from 6 to 3 hours. I don't care. I think that's fine. I think the Neo Mall is a ripoff. If anything needs changed, it's the whole damn mall. The prices need changed. The items need changed. All of it. One thing that they haven't done in a really long time, if ever, is update the Omega system. You know, like the whole thing. We haven't had any new assignments for it. We haven't had any new building styles. There's been nothing new in regards to Omega. And again, I'm not a fan of Omega. I think it's hideous. I think it's a ripoff. The only beneficial thing about Omega is the services. That's it. But there are people that do like the Omega. A lot of them, in fact. And those people that play the game and enjoy that feature, they deserve an update. They deserve something better. You know, look how many people keep playing this game in hopes that the game's going to get better. And it doesn't. But they keep playing in hopes. Can you imagine how much more inclined people would be to spend money and to keep playing if they had any bit of positive change? Just imagine for a minute the next update, getting even 5 of the changes that we've listed just now. How much happier everybody would be. Opening up your game and actually seeing a cool pass and being like, wow, these buildings are awesome. And actually being excited to play. Can you imagine that? You would pay the season pass with a smile on your face. You know? But when it's just negative and miserable, it's like, dude, come on, man. All right, next one. Remove the limitations for the collection of speed-up tokens from the epic buildings. So right now, how it works is, as you collect the speed tokens on top of the houses, you cannot collect past 35 unless they're from a mayor's pass or a side pass or something like that. But when it comes to the ones on the top of the buildings, you cannot go past 35. It used to be 5. What they're saying is they want it to be unlimited. I think that's fair. You know, you earned the buildings. You should be able to have them collected, right? That's fair. Okay. The next one is, it's just them talking. So basically, they go on about hacking. They want EA to make efforts to remove cheaters. You know, this game is very, very, very easy to hack. I'm not against people hacking the game at all. If they want to hack the game, that's on them. That's fine. However, I do think that they should automatically be put onto a different server because they're ruining the game for other people. Even if it's just hacking items. They should not be allowed to compete in the contest of mayors. They should not be allowed to sell their items to the global market. Because here's the thing. Even though technically it comes down to who's making better choices, the bottom line is, let's say I'm going against somebody who has hacked items. Okay? They can have any item that they want at their fingertips. They've got this unlimited storage, right? Or they've got other cities that they can access to gain those items. And me and them are competing in the contest of mayors, and it comes down to who's going to make the better choice. However, they have an easier time completing assignments because they have an unlimited supply of coin. They have an unlimited supply of items. They don't have to hunt for anything. If I can't find items for my deliveries, then I have to make them. I have to use tokens. I have to skip the delivery or whatever the case may be. It takes me longer, which in turn makes it to where my choices might be different. You see what I'm saying? So even though they're not hacking the points, and even though it does come down to the choices, the point is they have a much easier time competing. They don't have to spend all week making back coin. They don't have to prep and, prep all their items and juggle their inventory. They don't have all that. They can just start the contest, quickly blow through all their assignments, and then be done with it. They don't have to actually play. You see what I'm saying? Like, actually competitively. Do you know how much harder it would be for somebody who doesn't have unlimited items, who has to actually prep? Those people deserve to win. People who just have everything at their fingertips, even if it does come down to the choices that you make, you still have it a lot easier, okay? And that's not fair. The ways that they could cut back on it, they could cut back on hacking if they really wanted to. And starting with our profiles, and I've talked about this thousands of times, but we do need it. We need, kind of like how Blizzard does, where you get like an account and then it gets suspended if you do any hacking or whatever. We need something like that with the game. We do. And it would cut down on hackers. It would, make the game much more enjoyable in terms of communication between members. The last couple weeks, we've had issues with Facebook friend glitches. That's just been miserable for everybody. You can't transfer, stuff. You can't travel to people's cities or whatever. It would be nice if we could have, some new additions to the game that weren't so ridiculously expensive. Like, put out some trees that aren't just ridiculously overpriced. It seems like everything that they've been putting out is meant for people who are filthy rich. Okay? Like the roads or the new trees, the new buildings, whatever. It would be nice if they would allow us to zoom all the way out, get an aerial view of our city. That would be cool. Zoom in more. Though, just customize our city in ways that we couldn't before. Like, let's say, go through and name our roads. That would be kind of cool. Maybe get a street view instead of just a little half-ass zoomed in view. Different bridges. That would be amazing. I would really like to see like a drawbridge. The castle walls were a cool idea, but the way that they're set up, they just look weird. I don't know. They don't look good. You can't really put anything up against them and have it look decent. It's just, it looks funky. The Space Needle, let's talk about that. I want my damn Space Needle. Castles, let's put some more castles in there. What would be kind of cool would be some stuff that, like, let's say that you had this, how do I explain it? So, all right, you got your SimCity group, okay? And a lot of why the game's fun is that you have a group to interact with. But imagine if you could go to a different screen with an avatar and conversate with other people. Kind of like a hangout, like a Sims hangout, right? So you make your Sim character and you go to this hangout and you can communicate with other people. You can friend them, trade with them, get their club information, make it to where your group has this a longer section to put in, club rules and yada yada. More than 25 members, I think, would be better. Maybe 30 would be good. Because a lot of people have feeders or whatever. But 30 members would be good. Being able to do like a club connect your clubs. So for people that have more than one group, make it to where there's like a section there where you can transfer people to a different group if they want, and you can access all of those groups in one tab. Like maybe you could be president of multiple groups instead of just one group. That would be really cool. And kind of like a Discord, like how you'll have your presidency in that group, and then I guess how would that work in terms of war? That wouldn't work. Yeah, that's not going to work. But maybe you have like one that you're actively playing in, but you are in control of that group. Like you own it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe instead of having it be like the president, maybe you're just the owner, and then you assign presidency to somebody. So you're just there as the owner, and you change the roles, but you're not actively playing in that group. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. There's so many ideas, you guys, that I can come up with that would make the game better. And I've mentioned these ideas on my channel. I know SimCity watches these. I talk to them personally. I've sent them messages personally. And they don't make any of the changes, really. They just do the opposite. And I don't know why, because like I said, it's not like they're bad ideas and they're going to make the game worse. I mean, it's not even just my opinion. So many people agree with 90% of the ideas that I have, or they've come up with them too. So I want to hear what you guys think should be changed. What would you like to see? What type of buildings? What additions to the game? Do you want to see a whole new feature added to the game? And if so, what? What items do you not like? What features do you absolutely hate? Put it down in the comments section. Put it in an email to SimCity. Put it on their Facebook page, their Twitter page. Just start blowing them up in the comments sections. Seriously. Because that's the only way that shit's going to change. They're not going to change anything unless they hear a voice, unless they have a reason to. So if they see that 90% of their players want the same things or want a change, they're going to be more inclined to do it. Just be honest. Be like, look, I'm done with your game, or I'm not done with your game, or I like this, or I don't like that, or whatever. Put it out there, okay? Because a lot of y'all are in my inbox, and you're miserable, and you're like, dude, I'm just about done with this shit. Like, it's just lame. And the only reason that most of us keep playing is the 1% chance, that hope, that it's going to get better in the next season pass, that they're going to do something different. People wait months for an update. Months. And they get excited for updates. And you got to remember, that they're competing with all kinds of other games out there. They're doing terrible in regards to keeping up with, keeping the game fresh and new and exciting. Just City Skylines, if it was a mobile game, most people would just play that. Like, they're fed up. They're fed up with this game and its glitches and its lack of support and all of it. Just the way that they've treated everybody when things don't work. They don't reimburse people half the time. Do you know how many people have played Mega and won and not got their prize? And they're just like, well, sucks to be you. Dude, they have proof that they won. I've had people have screenshots and proof that they don't have the money. And they still didn't give them a dime. Not one damn dime of it back. That's not cool, man. At all. And it's frustrating because as somebody who's played the game for 8 years, look how they treat me. I've done nothing but try to make the game good and help people and make it exciting for people and make them not so miserable. Do you know how many people tell me every day, I would have quit Had I not come across your channel, I would have quit. I couldn't do epics. I couldn't win the contest. I was constantly broke. I couldn't find rares. My storage was full. Couldn't unlock anything. I didn't know how to boost my population very much. I had no keys. I couldn't attack in war. They were absolutely miserable. Didn't know what to do. All the advice out there that they were watching was crap. So they need to really seriously figure it out. I know that I've got a mouth on me, and I know that I've told them they're a bunch of dumbass, hard hat wearing motherfuckers, and they may not like me, but I am right. They do need to make a change to the game. They may not like me, and I may be blunt, and I may be, saying it how it is, but they really should, listen. They really should listen to me because, man, think about how much better it would be for the rest of us if they did. Okay, good luck to you guys this week in the contest. I know y'all are miserable at these new shops. There's nothing profitable in them to make. They're just creating havoc on your inventory and your demands and your epics. And I know it wasn't an enjoyable change. Nobody said, God, I just love this new shop. It's just wonderful. I'm so happy they made this addition. It gave me some kind of positive pleasure, no, nothing. Everybody's just miserable. Why are you wanting to make people miserable? If your goal was to piss everybody off, well, you achieved that, SimCity. So, good luck to you guys. Let them know how you feel, and I will see you next time.